Hello friends, in the previous lecture we have seen the methods to find initial basic feasible solution of transportation problem such as northwest corner method, least cost method and VAM method, that is Vogel's approximation method. We have also discussed the Modi method to find the optimal solution of transportation problem. Today we are going to consider example to get all these methods and we will compare the cost obtained by these all methods. So consider the example. A dairy farm has 3 plants P1, P2, P3 located in a state. The daily milk production of each plant is as follows. Plant first P1 has 6 million liters capacity. Plant second P2 has 1 million liter capacity and plant 3 P3 has 10 million liter capacity. Each day the firm must fulfill the need or requirement of its 4 distribution centers D1, D2, D3 and D4 whose minimum requirement is as follows. The distribution center D1 has minimum requirement 7 million liters. D2 has requirement 5 million liters. D3 has requirement 3 million liters. And D4 has requirement 2 million liters. The cost of shipping (1 million liter) milk from each plant to each distribution center in hundreds of rupees is given in following table. So this is the cost of shipping 1 million liter milk from plants to distribution center. So 3 plants P1, P2, P3 and 4 distribution centers D1, D2, D3, D4. The cost is given as 2, 3, 11, 7, 1, 0, 6, 1 and 5, 8, 15, 9. The question is, find the initial basic feasible solution. IBFS means initial basic feasible solution of this transportation problem by firstly north-west corner method, second by least cost method, third by VAM method. Also, using the IBFS by VAM, find the optimal solution of the transportation problem using Modi method, modified distribution method. So observe the example. See that the cost is given in this table and the supply and demand is also given. So we will firstly prepare the table which gives us transportation cost, supply and demand. So consider the solution. See, we have 3 plants and 4 distribution centers. 3 plants P1, P2, P3 and 4 distribution centers D1, D2, D3, D4. The cost of shipping 1 million liter milk from plant to the distribution center is given to us. So we will write down that 2, 3, 11, 7, 1, 0, 6, 1 and 5, 8, 15, 9. The supply is given. The supply is 6 million, 1 million liter and 10 million liter. And the demand is given 7 million liter, 5, 3 and 2 million liter. We want to find the initial basic feasible solution by all the 3 methods. To find the initial basic feasible solution, the first thing you have to check that whether the problem is balanced. The problem is balanced if the total supply equal to total demand. So check total supply and total demand. Observe that total supply is equal to 6 plus 1 plus 10, that is 17 and total demand equal to 7 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2, it is also equal to 17. So total supply 17 and total demand also 17, both are equal. Therefore total supply equal to total demand, both are equal to 17, implies that the transportation problem is balanced transportation problem. And if it is balanced, we will start with the methods. So consider the first method, that is northwest corner method, to find the initial basic feasible solution. We find the IBFS by first method, that is north-west corner method. So consider the given example. having transportation cost as 2,311,7,1061 and 5,815,9. Supply is 6,110 and demand is 7,532. In northwest corner method, what we do? We start with northwest corner, that is this corner, and allocate as much as possible, which is equal to minimum of corresponding supply and demand. Supply is 6, demand is 7, minimum of 6 and 7, that is 6. So we allocate here 6. Allocated amount we subtract from this supply and demand. So we subtract 6 from 6 and 7. 6 minus 6 remains 0. 7 minus 6 remains 1. Because this row has supply 0, we cross out this row. So row is crossed out, which has having supply to be 0. Because row is crossed out, we come to the next row. So come to this cell and allocate as much as possible to the first cell. Minimum of supply and demand 1, both is 1, and therefore both get crossed out 0. Both becomes 0, supply also and demand also. That is, at the same time both are simultaneously becoming 0. In such cases, we have to cross out only once, either row or column. So I will cross out row. Whenever you cross out row, you have to put 0 allocation in the uncrossed column, because this column should be crossed out. So in that case, we put 0 allocation in the uncrossed column and move diagonally. So here we have allocation. Now move diagonally. So this is extra 0. Only to this is adjustment, because both are simultaneously becoming 0. So now move diagonally. Whenever both row and column becomes 0 simultaneously, we always move diagonally and allocate as much as possible to this. So 5 and 10, minimum is 5 allocated, remains 0, remains 5. So this column deleted because it has demand 0. Now again next 15, 3 and 5, minimum is 3, allocated 3, remains 2, and lastly to this cell allocate 2, so that becomes 0. Observe that every supply and every demand becomes 0, that is all the requirements are satisfied, and therefore this is our solution. If you add this 6 plus 1, demand 7, demand 5, 3, 2. If you see row wise, supply 6, supply 1, 5 plus 3 plus 2, supply 10. That is solution is. So what is initial basic feasible solution? It is x11 is equal to 6, x21 is equal to 1, x31 is equal to 0, x32 is equal to 5, x33 is equal to 3, and x34 is equal to 2. This is initial basic feasible solution. And what is transportation cost? Transportation cost is 2 into 6 plus 1 into 1 plus 5 into 0 plus 8 into 5 plus 15 into 3 plus 9 into 2, and because the cost is given in 100 of rupees, we multiplied by 100. So it is nothing but 12 plus 1 plus 0 plus 40, 45 plus 18 into 100. It is nothing but 30 plus 40, 70, and 70 plus 45 plus 146. So 70 plus 46, 116 into 100, that is 11,600 rupees. So the transportation cost by this method comes to be 11,600 rupees. That is the transportation cost by north-west corner method. Now consider the second method. It's least cost method. In least cost method, we always start with the least cost in the table and allocate as much as possible to the cell having least cost. Now see, in the table, as the name suggests, we have to see for least cost. Which is the least cost in the whole table? In this table, 0 is the least cost. So we allocate as much as possible to this 0. This 0 has supply 1 and demand 5. Minimum of 1 and 5 is 1. So we allocate 1. After allocating 1, supply remains 0 and demand remains 4. Because supply becomes 0, we cross out the row which has 0 supply. Now in the remaining table, again find least cost. In the remaining table, least cost is 2 and therefore allocate to 2 as much as possible. That is minimum of 6 and 7, that is 6. So allocate 6. Remains here 0 and remains 1. Because supply gets cancelled, we cross out this row. In the remaining table, the least cost is 5. So allocate to 5, which is minimum of 1 and 10, that is 1. So allocate 1, remains 0, remains 9. Because it becomes 0, this column is crossed out. Again least cost is 8. Allocate minimum of 4 and 9, that is 4, remains 0, remains 5. Therefore column is crossed out. Minimum is 9, allocate 2, remains 0, here remains 3. And lastly 15, allocate 3, both becomes 0. Every supply and every demand becomes 0. All the requirements are satisfied. If you observe, we get the supply, total supply of this demand to be 7, 5, 3, 2. If you see supply, 6, 1, 1 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 equal to 10. And therefore, what is initial basic feasible solution by least cost method? It is x11 is equal to 6, x22 is equal to 1, x31 is equal to 1, x32 is equal to 4, x33 is equal to 3 and x34 is equal to 2. And what is the transportation cost? It is nothing but 2 into 6 plus 0 into 1 plus 5 into 1 plus 8 into 4 plus 15 into 3 plus 9 into 2. It is nothing but 12, 0, 5 plus 32 plus 45 plus 18. 30 plus 45, 75, 75 plus 5, that is 80, 112. But because it is in 100 of rupees, it becomes 1100 into multiply by 100. So we are multiplying this by 100. This total cost in 100 of rupees. So we will multiply this by 100 and therefore it becomes 200 rupees. This total should be multiplied by 100 because the total cost is given in terms of 100. So it becomes 11,200 rupees. So if you find this by least cost method, it comes to be 11,000 200 rupees. Now see the third one. The third one is VAM method. So see VAM method. It's 2, 3, 11, 7, 1, 0, 6, 1, 5, 8, 15, 9, 6, 1, 10 and 7, 5, 3, 2. This is demand, supply. In VAM, we start with penalties. What are penalties? The difference between smallest and the next smallest. So see, these are the two smallest elements. Smallest is 1, next smallest, and therefore difference between them, that is 2 minus 1, the penalty is 1. We have to write down the penalties here. So the penalty is 1. The difference between 0 and 3, so penalty 3. We have to consider the difference between smallest and next smallest in every row and every column, that will give us penalties. So difference between 11 and 6, 5, 1 and 7, 6. Now see the penalties. Difference between 2 and 3, 1. Difference between 0 and 1, 1. And difference between 8 and 5, 3. Among these penalties, start with largest penalty. Largest penalty is 6. And in largest penalty, you have to search lowest cost. Lowest cost is 1. Allocate as much as possible to this lowest cost. So minimum of 1 and 2, that is 1 is allocated. Supply is 0, demand remains 1. Because this becomes 0, we cross out the row which has supply 0 now. Again in the remaining table, we find out the penalties. So find out the penalties. Difference of 5 and 2, that is 3. Difference of 8 and 3, 5. 15 and 11, difference is 4. 9 and 7, difference is 2. Next, between 2 and 3, 1. Between 5 and 8, 3. Again, find the largest penalty. The largest penalty is 5. In this 5, check the least cost. Least cost is 3. So allocate to 3 as much as possible. That is minimum of 6 and 5. That is 5. Allocate 5. Remains 0. Remains 1. Because this column becomes 0, we cross out this column. Now again take the penalties. Difference of 5 and 2, that is 3. Difference of 11 and 15, that is 4. 7 and 9, the difference is 2. Then 7 and 2, the difference is 5. 5 and 9, the difference is 4. The maximum penalty or largest penalty is 5. So consider this 5, and in this 5, minimum cost, smallest cost is 2. Allocate minimum of 1 and 7, that is 1 here. Remains 0, remains 6. This row cross out because it has supply 0. Now there are only one row remaining. So we will consider the smallest, that is 5. Allocate minimum of 6 and 10, that is 6. Minimum cost is now 5. So allocate 6 and 10. Minimum is 6. Remains 0. Remains 4. So this column cross out. Now minimum is 9. allocate minimum of 1 and 4, that is 1 remains 0, remains 3, cross out this column, and 3 and 3, allocate 3 to 15, remains 0. Every supply and every demand becomes 0, implies that we get the solution. So what is solution? Observe the solution now. The solution is x11, that is initial basic feasible solution is x11 is equal to 1, x12 is equal to 5, x24 is equal to 1, x31 is equal to 6, x33 is equal to 3, and x34 is equal to 1. And what is the transportation cost? It is nothing but 2 into 1 plus 3 into 5 plus 1 into 1 plus 5 into 6 plus 15 into 3 plus 9 into 1, this total into 100 because the cost is given in hundreds of rupees. So this is nothing but 2 plus 15 plus 1 plus 30 plus 45 plus 9 into 100. That is nothing but 45 plus 15, 60 plus 30, 90, 90 plus 10, 100 and 2. 102 into 100, so 10,200 rupees. This is the transportation cost by VAM method. So by VAM method, the transportation cost comes to be 10,200 rupees. Observe the cost. By northwest corner method, we get 11,600. This by LCM we get 11,200, and by VAM 10,200. See that by VAM we get least cost than all other methods. Less cost is obtained by VAM. So VAM is better than other two methods. Now we want to find the optimal solution. Once we get this VAM, we are going to use this VAM solution as IBFS and find the optimal solution by Modi method. So see the solution by Modi. So the initial basic feasible solution we are going to use, which is obtained by VAM method. So consider the solution by VAM. So what is our solution by VAM? See, the VAM solution is x11 is 1, x12 is 5, this is our solution by VAM, x24 is 1, x31 is 6, x33 is 3, and x34 is 1. So we know this solution by VAM. Now we want to find the optimal solution. So see what it will be by Modi. By Modi method, we write down the multipliers. To use Modi method, what is our condition? The condition is that number of allocations must be equal to m plus n minus 1. Then can we proceed. So see the number of allocations. Number of allocations are they should be m plus n minus 1. M is number of rows 3, number of columns 4 minus 1, number of allocations should be 6. See the allocation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because there are 6 allocations implies that we can apply Modi method. So apply Modi method because the number of allocations are equal to m plus n minus 1. So we can apply the Modi method to find the solution. So what is the solution in this case? To use this Modi method, we are going to write down the multipliers. So consider the multipliers u1, u2, u3. These are the multipliers for rows. There are 3 rows. So we write down the multipliers u1, u2, u3 in these 3 rows. And we similarly we write down the multipliers for columns and we denote them by v1, v2, v3 and v4. These are the multipliers for column. So we want to find the values of this u1, u2, u3 and v1, v2, v3, v4. To find this value, we have to assign 0 value arbitrarily to one of the multiplier. Generally, that multiplier which corresponds to row or column having maximum number of allocation will be set equal to 0. See that this u3 multiplier, in this row there are 3 allocations. Because the number of allocations are more in this row, I will assume u3 is equal to 0. One can assume any multiplier 0 value. But if you assume 0 value to that multiplier which corresponds to row or column having maximum number of allocation, it gets easy to find all other values and therefore I will put u3 is equal to 0. What is my aim? These are for basic variables. Basic variable means which are allocated variables. Those are known as basic variables. Basic means allocated variables. Which are allocated variables? See the allocated variables. All these x11, x12, x24, x31, x33 and x34. These are allocated variables. All these allocated variables are known as basic variables. So, for this basic variable, the formula is that Cij is equal to ui plus vj. Cij is cost. This is the cost. This is the cost. Cij. Ui plus vj. So, this is only for basic, that is allocated variables. So, if you have this, see what will happen. For example, what is my formula? I should get for the basic variable x11. If I consider the basic variable x11, my formula should be C11 is equal to U1 plus V1, etc. If I have the basic variable x12, then my formula for cos C12, it is equal to U1 plus V2. What is this? For similarly for x24, C24 we get U2 plus V4 and so on. Now see, we have this U3 equal to 0. So I have this value that is for allocated value. I get the values where allocations are done only. And for this, what is the formula? So what is it? Is C34 is equal to U3 plus V4. U3 is 0. C34 is 9. So what should be V4? That is V4 must be equal to 9. Observe that U3 plus V4 must be equal to C34 because C34 is allocated cost cell. Similarly, this cell C 15. U3 plus V3 must be equal to 15. But U3 is 0, so V3 must be equal to 15 so that U3 plus V3 becomes 15. For allocated cell, V1 plus U3 must be 5U. U3 is 0, so V1 must be 5U so that 5U plus 0 is equal to 5U. This is only done for allocated cell. Once you get these values, see now I will check this for allocated cell. V4 is 9. I have the formula U2 plus V4 should be equal to 1. So what should be U2? It is nothing but minus 8. So 9 minus 8 gives me 1, etc. Similar for this. Now see the value. We have V1 is equal to 5U. So see this column. We have the equation U1 plus V1 must be equal to C11. But V1 is 5U, so U1 must be minus 3 so that U1 plus V1 become C11. Now remains to find value of V2. So use U1 plus V2 must be equal to 3. So V2 must be equal to 6. So that 6 minus 3 equal to 3. So I found all these values of multipliers using the formula Cij is equal to Ui plus Vj for basic variables, that is only for allocated variables. Once you get these values of the multipliers using this, we will use for non-basic variables. Non-basic variable means non-allocated variables. Non-basic, or we can say non-allocated variables. So for non-allocated variables, we are going to find the value, and non-allocated variable xij must be equal to ui plus vj minus cij, and that should be true for every non-allocated variables. So we are going to find the value of non-allocated variables in this square. These are all non-allocated cells. So here we find the value of non-allocated variables in the square. What is the formula? Xij is equal to ui plus vj minus cij. So see this value. What is it? It is nothing but, this is nothing but x13 value. x13, I will write down one formula and then you will use that for directly. So x13 is equal to u1 plus v3, u1 plus v3 minus c13. That is the formula. u1 minus 3 plus V3 15 minus C13 11, and therefore it becomes 15 minus 11 4, 4 minus 3 1. So this value comes to be 1. Go on doing all the non-variable calculations. So see what we have for this. It is nothing but 9 minus 3, that is 6, and 6 minus 7 minus 1. This value is 5 plus minus 8, that is minus 3 minus 1 minus 4. 6 minus 8 minus 2 minus 0 minus 2. 15 minus 8, that is 7, and 7 minus 6, that is 1. This will be 6 plus 0, that is 6. 6 minus 8 minus 2. So we find the values of non-allocated variables using the formula xij is equal to ui plus vj minus cij, and we write down these values in these squares. Now what is our aim? Because our transportation cost we want to minimize, and in simplex method we have studied that if you want to find minimum z, we find most positive in z row. So here also we find the most positive non-basic variable value. The most positive non-basic variable value here comes to be 1. See in the square box. Which value is most positive? Start with that. Now in this there is tie, this one or this one. You can start with any most positive. All other values in the square are negative. Only these two values are positive, and from positive you want most positive, but both are same. So now you can use any one of them. So start with any one. This means that this variable will be the entering variable. So this variable will enter and one of the variable will surely leave. We want to find which variable leaves. Either this variable enter or this variable enter because it has most positive value. I will start with this. To find which variable leaves the solution, I have to find a closed loop starting with this, and the loop should be having connected horizontal and vertical lines such that each corner has a location. So consider a loop formed by horizontal and vertical lines only such that each corner has a location. So I will consider this loop C. So see this loop. At this corner there is allocation. At this corner there is allocation. And at this corner also there is allocation. So I have to consider a closed loop starting with this most positive non-basic variable such that at each corner of that loop there should be allocation. Once we have such closed loop, start with this non-allocated cell and give it sign plus, and alternate plus minus signs are given. So plus, alternate plus minus, so plus and minus. At each corner we will give plus minus sign. It can be in anti-clockwise or clockwise direction, any direction, but there should be alternate plus minus. So plus minus plus minus. Among these minus sign you have to see the allocation and consider the smallest allocation which occurs at minus sign. So minus sign is occur at the allocation 1 and 3, and therefore we take the smallest allocation, that is 1. What we have to do? We have to add the smallest allocation 1 where we have plus sign and subtract the allocation where it is minus sign. We get our new table, new solution. So see, we get our next solution. So we have 2, 3, 11, 7, 1, 0, 6, 1, 5, 8, 15, 9, 6, 1, 10, 7, 5, 3, 2. Now observe that. What we are doing? We are, because these allocations are 1 and 3 which are at minus sign, what we do? We take the least. Least is 1. So we have to subtract 1 from these two allocation and add 1 where it is plus sign. So here it is, there is no allocation. So 1 is added. So now see, observe that this cell enters. So this variable enters, and because this variable 1, it leaves. So this variable leaves now. You have to add this 1. So becomes 7. Where it is plus sign, you have to add 1. So we have added 1 here. And we have subtracted 1, because 1 gets subtracted, this allocation leaves the solution. And here we subtract 1, so we get 2. All the other allocation remains as it is. So 5 remains as it is. This 1 remains as it is. This 1 remains as it is. Now see, this is new solution. Once you get new solution, again we want to check whether this solution is optimal or not. So check optimality. The number of allocations are 6. So start with the multipliers. U1, U2, U3 and V1, V2, V3, V4. Observe that this cell has, this row has more allocations. So I will assume U3 is equal to 0, and those which are allocated, I use the formula Cij is equal to Ui plus Vj for allocated cell, that is for basic variable cells. So for allocated I am using this formula Cij is equal to Ui plus Vj. So U3 plus V4 is equal to 9, so V4 should be 9 only for allocated. U3 plus V3 is equal to 15, so V3 must be equal to 15. V1 plus U3 equal to 5, so V1 is equal to 5. Now because V3 is equal to 15, V3 plus U1 is equal to 11, so U1 must be equal to minus 4, so that 15 minus 4 will be 11. Because V4 is 9, see two allocated cells only, because V4 is equal to 9 and we want V4 plus U2 is equal to 1, U2 should be minus 8, 9 minus 8 is equal to 1, and remains this value because U1 is minus 4, U1 plus V2 must be equal to 3 and therefore V2 is equal to 7, so that 7 minus 4 is equal to 3. So we get all values of multipliers. Once you get all values of multipliers, we want to find the values of non-basic variables which are written in these squares. Where allocations are not there, those are non-basic variables. So we find the values of these non-basic variables using the formula for non-basic variables or for non-allocated cells. Our formula is Xij is equal to Ui plus Vj minus Cij. So use that formula. So what is X11? It is nothing but U1 plus V1 minus C11 minus 4 plus 5, that is 1. 1 minus 2, that is minus 1. This one, 9 minus 4, that is 5. 5 minus 7, minus 2. 5 plus minus 8, minus 3, minus 3, minus 1, minus 4. 7 minus 8, minus 1, minus 1, minus 0, minus 1. 15 minus 8, 7. 7 minus 6, 1. 7 plus 0, 7 minus 8, minus 1. That variable which has most positive value is entering variable. So see, this value is 1. See, if you find the square boxes here, all other are negative, only this is positive, and so most positive is 1. Means that now this variable enters in the solution. To find which is living variable, what you have to do? You have to find a closed loop starting at this point and with horizontal and vertical connected lines which ends in the allocated cell. So see, the corner ends in allocated. Now see this loop. If you observe that the corner point except this entering variable, all other corner points are in allocated cell. Give plus minus alternate signs, and among minus signs, see the list. List is 1, means that this variable leaves the solution and this variable enters the solution. So we get our next solution. The next solution is see what you have to do. The negative sign has these two cells and one is the smallest, so this leaves and one is added in this. There is no allocation here, but one is added, so now here it is 1. 1 is added, so this becomes 2, and in minus sign subtract 1, so 1 left, that is this cell leaves, and 1 subtracted gives 1. All other remains as it is. This allocation is 5 remains as it is, this 1 remains as it is, and this 7 remains as it is. Now this is our new allocations. Number of allocations are again m plus n minus 1, that is 6. There are 6 allocations, so we proceed further. Again check whether this is optimal or not, and for that you require u1, u2 and u3 multipliers, v1, v2, v3 and v4. We assume u3 is equal to 0, so that v4 is equal to 9. 9 plus 0 equal to 9. 15. 15 plus 0 equal to 15. This will be 5, so that 5 plus 0 is equal to 5. Because this is 15, 15 we want this value to be, that is u2 plus v3 must be equal to 6, and therefore u2 comes to be minus 9. 15 minus 9, that is 6. 15 we want 11, so u1 is minus 4. 15 minus 4, it will be 11. We want only v2 value. u1 plus v2 must be equal to 3. So v2 must be equal to 7. 7 minus 4 is 3. We get all values of multipliers. Now find the values of non-basic variables in these squares. See this. 5 minus 4, 1, 1 minus 2, minus 1. 9 minus 4, 5 minus 7, minus 2. 5 minus 9, minus 4, minus 1, minus 5. 7 minus 9, minus 2. 9 minus 9, 0, 0 minus 1, minus 1. 7 minus 8, minus 1. Among these non-basic variable, we want most positive value. But now observe that every square value is negative. So all non-basic variable values, all these non-basic variable values are less than or equal to 0, implies that the solution is optimal. We want most positive value, but we never get here. We do not get the value which is most positive in these squares, means that that solution is optimal. So what is our solution? That is the optimal solution of the transportation problem. The optimal solution by Modi method comes to be x12 is equal to 5, x13 is equal to 1, x23 is equal to 1, x31 is equal to 7, x33 is equal to 1 and x34 is equal to 2. And see what is the cost. The transportation cost comes to be 5 into 3 or 3 into 5 plus 11 into 1 plus 6 into 1 plus 5 into 7 plus 15 into 1 plus 9 into 2, and because the cost is given in terms of 100 of rupees, we multiplied by 100. So it is nothing but 15 plus 11 plus 6 plus 35 plus 15 plus 18 into 100. 15 plus 15, 30. 30 plus 35, that is 65. 65 plus 35, that is 100 into 100, that is 10,000 rupees. So observe that by Modi method we get the cost to be 10,000 rupees. See the cost, compare them. By Northwest we get 11,600. By LCM we get 11,200. VAM 10,200, and by Modi we get 10,000. So we get the cost optimal by Modi, and if you compare these three methods, VAM is better to find the initial basic feasible solution in all the three methods. Hope you enjoy the lecture. In the next lecture, we will see more example to consider the degenerate case. Thank you.